back to my channel. I have a really fun project to do today, and it begins with TBR and ends with cart. I finally got a TBR cart. I have been eyeing Facebook Marketplace for one of these for months because I like to buy a lot of things secondhand if I can. I don't love buying things new, especially whenever things that people are selling on Facebook are like in almost brand new mint quality. But people are charging an arm and a leg for these in my area. It's like they know that I want one so bad that they're like, I'm gonna charge double what they're listed for on Michael's website. So I've kind of also been like monitoring Michael's website, and they finally had a sale for these. I think this was ended up being like less than $30, like $28.99 or something like that. So I was like, I'm just going to get myself this as like an early birthday present, and this will be my fun book chore, because I also have kind of been wanting to like reorganize my books. Like I was debating between if I wanted to do like a rainbow color scheme, which doesn't really fit too well with fantasy, and I read a ton of fantasy, so I was like, maybe I'll do rainbow just for romance and then keep fantasy separate. And then I was like, but I don't know where I would put those. So anyway, there's been a lot happening up here with regard to reorganizing my books. And then I got a TBR cart, so it's actually perfect. And it's purple. The lilac is like so stunning. I really wanted a lighter color in here because like I have dark walls, dark chair, like everything's dark in here, which I love, but I also like having other things to help brighten up the space. So lilac, she's gorgeous. I think the plan, because I already know how many books I have unread on my shelf because I track that already, and I think I only have, I'm saying I think because I don't know the exact amount in the top of my head. I have it in my spreadsheet, but it's around, it's in the 40s. Okay, so I do think that it will fit on here. I think the top is going to be for my current reads, my library loans, because I also, one thing that I'm struggling with is I don't have anywhere to put my library books whenever I pick them up, because I've been borrowing more from the library physical format. So I think the top is going to be library books and current reads. The next shelf will be like higher priority TBR that I would like to get to by the end of the year, and then at the bottom will just be other TBR books that are kind of like on the back burner for me. So I think that's the plan. I'm very excited. Also, I will be doing this, just so you know, before we get any further in this video, I am not wearing a bra because fuck that. And my air conditioning is blasting because it's over 90 degrees where I'm at. So if you see any, there's only so much I can do, okay? There's only so much I can do. And since I'm making this like a whole afternoon, I do have a little snack watermelon Sour Patch Kids, which these are like the superior Sour Patch Kids. I love these so much. So this is my bag I have. I don't eat a whole bag at once because I have sensitive teeth and it hurts, but the pain is worth it. So I usually put it in like a container and then I eat it throughout the week. Okay, and then I also have water because your bitch gotta stay hydrated. Okay. I'm just realizing how much of a task this is gonna be. Okay. Let's get started. Okay, so this is currently what we're working with. This is my bookshelf that you see in like all of my videos, and then I also have this other one that is just kind of like a catch-all. It has special editions, library book sales. It's like a fucking mess. So I think the plan for this wall, the top is going to have a bunch of plants because I have so many plants. I need somewhere else to put them, and I want them to be displayed more in my videos behind me, and also like I just love them. Okay, next I think I'm gonna have my fantasy and miscellaneous series there. The bottom shelf I think is where I'm gonna do my rainbow romance, and I'm gonna see how much room I have because I honestly think it'll go like from here to the left to the right, and then I'll have like this wall kind of as like extra. So I might keep, these are where I put my hardbacks right now. I might keep my hardbacks right there. And then depending on how much space I have on my second shelf is going to depend on where I put all of these library holds, or not library holds. These are like the books that I get from my library book sale. So if they can't go on the second shelf, I think I'm going to end up putting them on the top shelf along with my plants. So I think top shelf is going to be plants and library book sales, library book sale books. Second shelf, fantasy books. I do actually think it's going to take up the whole shelf now that I'm kind of looking at it. Fantasy and thriller and things like that. And then my bottom shelf is going to have romance. And then down here, my little cart, this is where it's going to be kept. I think this is where I'm going to put all of my books that I've already told you about, TBRs and library loans. So that's the plan. Okay, I think I need a little bit of brain food before I start because I have like 350 books on my bookshelf. There's so many to go through. It's fine, it's fine. I'm just gonna have a watermelon right now. Also, this is a reusable Starbucks cup. It's plastic and it goes in my dishwasher and I've had it for like 6 or 7 or 8 years, okay? This is not water from Starbucks. This is water from my fridge. Okay, we just love this cup because it holds so much water. I'm gonna be so serious. I think I'm gonna put all of my library books on first, which I actually just got a massive library haul because I am trying to finish the summer read-in program that Read Magazine has put on, and so I got a bunch of books from the library that fit the prompts. So this is where I'm displaying them. I have to get more library books because I was like, I have so many library books. That's how many I have, which like is a lot, but it doesn't look like a lot on the shelf. Okay. Let me lay them down. Jesus. I normally don't buy an entire series, but I did buy this entire series because someone was selling it on Pango Books a while ago, kind of like as a set, and the covers are really cool. I love Dystopian. However, I've heard some not great things about the ending, and I'm just kind of like, do I want to read it? No, I will read it. I will read it. I think a goal, it's not attainable this year, but at the end of next year, I think I want to have 0 books on my physical TBR, and I'm putting that out into the world now so you guys can hold me accountable. And by the end of 2026, if I am not dead, all of the books on my bookshelf will be read. I haven't read this one. I will get to this chunky eventually. I will get to it. I'm actually in the middle of Homegoing and Master of Poisons. I wanted to get to in July for Disability Month, but the great thing about reading diversely all year is that you can just read them another time. The Twyford Code, this was a book that my book club wanted to read, and then I never read it, and I've read the rest of these. Okay. On to the next shelf. Do I put this one down? This is a 3-in-1 book, and I read book 1. I have not read book 2 and 3. Yeah, I'll put it down because that'll be on my priority TBR. The Thursday Murder Club, another book that my old book club wanted to read. Natasha Preston is one of my favorite YA thriller authors. All of these. Okay, Little Miss Kennedy Ryan, love your books and how they all look together on my shelf. I was gifted this book. I have not read it yet. I've read the first 2 books in the Shades of Magic trilogy, and I have not read this book. This one is just such a chonker. But the original covers, I mean, I'm sorry, how can you not want the original covers? How could you want the newer ones? I also haven't read I Fed Her to the Beast, and Emily Shacklett is one of my favorite indie romance authors, so I have all of her books, except I haven't read those 2. And I think she actually had another book come out recently that I need to get. Let's see if my spreadsheet was right. 1, 2, 38 on this shelf. And then I have more over here. Then I have all of these. These are like recent books that I've gotten. 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45 books. because I've already read this one, but The Blood Trials, one of my favorite series ever. I got it signed. I did get both of the new covers when I was there and got them signed. And I have the original covers. I have the original cover of The Blood Trials. I would like to find the original cover of... What's book 2? The fuck is book 2? I can't remember what book 2 is. But I want to find the original covers of that. Okay. And then I also have books 4, 5, and 6 of the Expanse series that I have not read. But I want to keep those together on my bookshelf as a series because I love the covers. So that is, let me recount again because I can't remember where I was at. I'm gonna take this one out and this one out and not count it towards my TBR because, yeah, I'm in the middle of both of these. You can kind of see. Okay. So that means I'm at 42 and with the Expanse series, 43, 44, 45, 46. It's book number 4, 46. And I will not be tracking my special editions because those I don't count because I just like them on my shelf. And I also will not be counting my library book sales because I like just supporting the library. So I'm keeping it at 46. Oh, here's book 4. Okay, I was right. I have less than 50 books. I have in the 40s range. So, yay. I just need a little bit of sugar again. Okay. Let's get going. So these are 2 books that I'm currently in the middle of, so I'm gonna put them up at the top. Homecoming is good. I just feel like I really need to be in the mood for like a heavy hitting literary fiction book, and I don't read lit fic very much. So I try to keep that in mind whenever I do start lit fic books and don't try to like rush myself, you know what I mean? And then I received a copy of Crueler Mercies from Zoran whenever I saw her at the Columbus Book Fest. And I also got the first book that she published within her imprint. And so I'm really enjoying this so far. I'm only at chapter 12, which is about page 100, but I'm actually going on a trip this weekend, and this is the only physical book that I'm bringing, so I'm hoping to finish it. I was just kind of like in the middle of another fantasy series whenever I started this, and they were a little bit too similar of like the main characters going on a journey as fantasy series do, so put that to the side because I wanted to give my full attention on it. Okay. I also have The Gods Below, and I got this got this signed by Andrea Stewart whenever I was at the Columbus Book Festival, and I can't wait to read this series. I think she said this was also going to be a trilogy, and book 2 is about to come out, so I might wait until book 3 is out before I start it. So I think this is going to go on my lower priority TBR just because I wanted to wait until book 3 comes out. And then Darkwater Daughter, I actually really want to start and finish this series this year now that the 3rd book has come out. So this is going to be higher on my TBR because I also feel like I just really want pirates fantasy soon. Oh yeah, this is the first book that I was talking about of Zoran's imprint. Oops. I'm also excited to get to this one. It sounds so good. That'll be something I finish by the end of the year, hopefully. Romance book, One Last Job. I actually read book 1 and book 3 in this series, loved them both. I have no good reason as to why I haven't started book 2 other than it hasn't been on my Kindle. And I don't read physical books. I didn't read physical books very often before this summer. I was more of like an ebook girly, and so I'm trying to get more into reading physical books. 1, so I can have less screen time, and 2, so I can read my physical TBR, and 3, because the feeling of a hard book, a physical book in your hand is just like, it's scratching my brain in the right way recently. A Memory Called Empire, I also got this signed at the Columbus Book Fest. This was my Columbus Book Fest pile. Can you tell? Okay. I got this signed as well. I really want to read it, and I actually just got a Libby notification that I am available, or I'm next in line, or I can download the book. My Kindle's on airplane mode because I have so many other books to get through, so once I finish all the other books, then I will be reading that one and the sequel on my Kindle, and then I can come off of here. I'm probably going to do a tandem read because I also really love tandem reads lately. Basically, everything about reading I love lately. I am in a slight reading slump, but that doesn't mean I can't love reading or books. My last 2 books that I got from the Columbus Book Fest, I've already read both of these. I just wanted the original covers, like I said earlier, to get signed, so I have to put these on my bookshelf once I organize that. Okay, now for the rest of my books. The Mover, I read book 1 of this. I'm actually going to be like in conversation with the author this upcoming Thursday at one of my local indie bookstores, and I'm really excited for it. I did really enjoy the first book. I think this will probably be on the bottom shelf. Mixed Signals, wait. Mixed Signals, I think this will probably be on the bottom shelf. I think this will probably be on the bottom shelf. I think this will probably be on the bottom shelf. I think this will probably be on the bottom shelf. I think this will probably be on the bottom shelf. No. I did read this book. Why did I bring this book down? I did read this book. Okay, House of Lies and Sorrow and This Wicked Curse. I actually got both of these. I got both of these as a giveaway from Bookstagram in like 2023. I've had these on my bookshelves for like 2 years basically, and I don't know when I'm ever gonna get to them. I have a feeling it's eventually going to be in the donate pile, in the unhaul pile, but they'll stay there for now. Shadow and Bone. I got this like forever ago. I don't love the Netflix cover, and I also don't know if I'm ever going to read this series. I've seen some things about the author, so I think this definitely will be in the unhaul pile as well. So I might put this on the back side, on the very back, because I don't really have anywhere to put like unhauling books just yet. So that's what this card is also maybe going to serve as. I don't know. We're just going with the vibes. We'll see. Next is Serious Moonlight. I have not read this book. It's actually funny how I came into possession of this book. My husband went to a bookstore with me and he was like, can I pick out a book for you? And I was like, yeah, of course. That sounds like a lot of fun. And I thought he would maybe like pick out a book on like my Goodreads shelf, you know? But no, he got me this book. And it's very chunky for a romance book. It's like 425 pages. And that's turning me off to it, so I haven't read it yet. It's probably going to be in the back, on the bottom. Oh yeah, this is the B.K. Borson book, the last book of the Love Light Farm series. I haven't read this one yet. I kind of just don't want this series to end, so I haven't read it. But it probably would be good for me to finish it. Now, this book, The Infinity Courts, I got just based off the cover. I mean, the cover's like gorgeous. I love it. It is a little bit of a chunky-ish book at like almost 500 pages. So I think this one's probably going to go on the bottom just because I haven't really been finding myself like wanting to pick it up recently. Now, a series that I absolutely am going to read in August, which is on my high priority TBR, are these two books, The Wilderwood duology. I love Hannah Witten. I just saw her at an author event for her latest release, The Nightshade God, which if you have not read the Hemlock Queen trilogy, go and read that series. It's so amazing. This is her debut series, and I think it'd be good to read a duology to close out the summer. Next up, I also have The Black Veins. The reason I have been reluctant to start this book is because I thought I saw that there was going to be another book in this series, and I've been waiting to hear more. But I think that this might actually just be a standalone, or it might be like an interconnected series. It is fantasy, so I'm going to have to look into how true that is, because again, I don't really like to start fantasies before the series is completed, because who knows when the release date is. I'm gonna put it on the lower TBR because I need to wait and see if there's gonna be another book in the series. And then I also have Fireborn. I've heard so many good things about this. I only have book 1, but I know it's a trilogy, so I think it's completed. I think it's completed. So I'm gonna put it up here because we love a completed trilogy. Miss Anna Huang. I read book 2 of this series. I did not love it. No. I actually am losing my mind. I read book 3 of this series. I've already read this, King of Greed, because it has Dominic in it. And I liked book 1, really liked book 2. Book 3 kind of went downhill, and so I've been reluctant to read it. I have book 4, and I think I do want to pick up book 5, and I think there's also a book 6. Because I've heard that it really, really picks up in the subsequent books after 3. And I love Anna Huang. I know a lot of people say her books are like copy and paste, you know. I don't think that's I agree, and I don't think that's a bad thing, because whenever I pick up an Anna Huang book, I know exactly what I'm going to get. And whenever I know I'm in the mood for this type of book, I know that she will deliver with that type of book. You know what I mean? So that's how I'm feeling now. I'll finish this by the end of the year. I think that's completely doable. Going along with romance, I also have 2 historical fiction books. I have the first, this is a 3-book series, The League of Extraordinary Women. I read the first book. I actually really liked it, and it was an over 400-page romance book. I think they all are, but I'm not very much of like a historical romance girly. I did really like this series. I don't know when I'm gonna get to book 2 and 3. I don't have book 4. I think book 4 is the last of it, but I haven't really been in too much of a historical romance mood, so I think that this is going to go at the bottom, but towards the front. I have lots of series on my shelves, apparently. I showed you guys these ones earlier, the Skype series. I think I would like to finish this one probably early next year, so I'm going to put it on the second shelf in the back. But I think that this is going to be like a good book whenever I just don't really know what I'm feeling. I can just read like a completed trilogy, you know what I mean? Next is Last Night at the Telegraph Club. I've heard really good things about this book. I just haven't picked it up. I don't know if I'm going to. Probably going to go on the bottom shelf. It is what it is. A Good Girl's Guide to Murder and Good Girl, Bad Blood, which I think this is actually book 1 and 3 in the series. Don't ask me why I only have 1 and 3, but I don't know. I think I really need to be convinced to read this series, you know. This might be an unhaul. So, bottom shelf in the back, unless I'm convinced otherwise. Next, I also have Murder in the Family. I actually got this to buddy read with one of my friends, and she said she really loved the book, and I haven't read it yet. It's still on my TBR. I'm so sorry, Jocelyn. So I don't know if I'm going to read this anytime soon. So I think it's going to go on the bottom, but maybe towards the front. Next, I have 2 Emily Shacklet books. I already said how I really love her romance books, so I think these I probably will be on a little bit higher on my TBR, so I think I'm going to put it on the second shelf towards the back. I Feed Her to the Beast. I actually have kind of been like reaching for this lately because this is sort of like a YA horror book, and I've kind of just been in that mood, so I don't know if it will be very soon, but I think by the end of the year I will probably get this finished. Binti is definitely high on my priority TBR because I read, so there's 3 books, right? And it's a 3-in-1 book. I read the first one. It was fine, but I'm 1/3 of the way with completing this. Like, I might as well just finish it this year, you know what I mean? So I think this is going to be a little bit higher on my priority TBR. And then 2 books that are very low on my TBR are my 2 old book club books that I have never read. Didn't read them. I probably should have just gotten these from the library, but you know, like, whenever you're book shopping with people and they all buy a book and you're like, yeah, I'll buy a book too. That's kind of what happened with these ones. What?
Overconsumption.
These might be an unhaul, but that's okay because one of my local indie bookstores buys books from you, and then you have stored credit to buy more books. So it's basically like free books. So these are gonna go on the bottom shelf in the back. I'm almost done. Okay, I'm almost done. The next book I have, The Master of Poisons. This has a very low rating on Goodreads, but the cover is still really cool and it sounds really interesting to me, so I'm still gonna read it. It's just over 500 pages, so I have to be like in the mindset for a chunky book, although I do think I want to get this finished before the end of the year, so I think this is gonna go on the second shelf towards the front. Malice by John Gwynne. I have no reason to have not read this series yet, and I don't think I'm going to get to it anytime soon. I just think I need to finish the Expanse series first. And I know that Expanse series is sci-fi and this is high fantasy, but I just feel like a chunky book, Maltese book series, I can only read one of those at a time. So the Expanse series is first, and then I'll probably get to these. I know I'm not going to finish the Expanse series before the end of, or it'll probably go through December. So this is going to be next year. So I'm going to put this on the bottom shelf towards the front because I think I would like to get to it pretty early on. I also have The Nature of Witches. I think I'm going to end up reading this during the fall time, like September, October, because it seems like spooky, witchy fall vibes. And I meant to read it last year and then I never got around to it. I think I'm going to make an effort to get to it this year, especially now because I have my little TBR cart. So it's going to go in the front on the second shelf, and I've officially filled up this shelf. Now, The Dance of Thieves, The Vow of Thieves. I'm going to be so honest with you, I don't know if I'm ever going to read this. I think I really fell into the hype of these books like right when I first started joining Book Talk. I'm not sure they're for me anymore, especially because I've read so much YA fantasy that like I think that these are going to be very underwhelming. I could be wrong. I might be able to be convinced otherwise. But for now, these are going to go on the bottom shelf in the back. Okay, my last 3 books, I have The Four Seasons Crown, which I was gifted this by the author. And again, I think I just need to figure out if this is going to be a series or not, and if it's a series, when the next book will come out, and how many books are going to be in the series, so I can wait until it's going to be finished, because that's how I roll. I also got The Witch Collector, and this was one of the books that I had won in my Bookstagram Romantasy giveaway in like 2023, and I've never read it, and I don't know what I'm gonna do with it, because I've heard a lot of really good things about this series. I just haven't really found myself picking it up because I haven't been in a romantasy mood. So I think this is gonna be another one where I check to see, you know, how many books are in the series and if it's a completed series, and then maybe I could be convinced to get to it. And my last book, A Conjuring of Light. I just can't bring myself to finish this series. One, this book is so long, and two, I just really loved the book 1 and 2, and I don't want the series to end. I don't think I'm gonna get to it by the end of the year, but it'll go on my second shelf. Okay, these 2 books I need to put back up on my shelf. And I'm trying to see, do I have any other books out? Oh yeah. How could I forget? These are the last 2 books that I have. I have to put these in my spreadsheet still, but I actually just got these from like an Instagram book sale from my local indie bookstore. Dragon Fruit, which I've heard really good things about, and I can't wait to get to it. It is a hardcover. This one I probably will get to before the end of the year because it's a pretty short book. And then I also got If We Were Villains. I just read Graveyard by M.L. Rio, and I really liked it. I think I'm also gonna like this book. I don't know if I'm gonna get to it before the end of the year, but I think it's gonna go on the second shelf still. So, and then I'll put my Kindle up here with my library books and my current reads. And this is my TBR cart. Hang on. Something just broke. Ah! The cart just broke! What the fuck?
Holy shit, Emily. Yeah, what do you expect?
Hang on. Well, okay. My cart just broke. Here it is.